Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rescripted Podcast, where we could celebrate the great things in life, share about the not so great parts, and find out how we can rewrite those challenges, turn them into insightful moments that will lead us to change, to growth, to happiness, and empowerment, all so that we can live the life we truly want to experience. My name is Amy Quiles, and I'm a personal development coach that helps you overcome self-doubt and self-sabotage so that you can live your dream life. Hello, everyone. I am so happy that you are here today. Welcome. And I am so excited today, not just because of the title of this video, but also because today is our third season. This video really is welcoming our third season of Rescripted Podcast. And I could not be any happier. When I first started this podcast, I thought it was just about being able to get out of our own ways, being able to look at life, see where the elements that we were happy with, see what was working, try to figure out what was the formula that made it work, and then look at different areas in our lives that weren't working and see how we can fix those. Because at the end of the day, you are a masterpiece, and there's just some areas in life that need to get developed. And that was merely the primary focus of starting this whole podcast, being able to understand that we are not broken. We just have areas that are underdeveloped, and we were going to work through that together. But in that journey, being able to coach and being able to see the different ways where getting out of your own way really does unfold and unravel and bring up to surface so many different things. I had no idea that something that would lend so was so tightly connected was in business. You think that personal development is one thing and you think business is something totally separate. But the truth of the matter is you really can't have one without the other, because if you're doing business, then you're bringing your thoughts, you're bringing your patterns, you're bringing your behaviors, and all of those things translate over to your business, which then whatever you feel like wasn't really working in your personal life then seeps over to your business. So one of the beautiful things that I found about personal development is that it is a key component that's going to make things easier in your business. So if you have a business, want to start up a business, or there's just different ways where you want to develop in life, probably be a little bit more organized or have more structures, or maybe you're very project oriented and you want to see how those things lend themselves over to those categories, how you can personally develop yourself and see how that can bring you to master those other areas in life, then I'm so excited that you're here and I truly welcome you to this episode. So some might wonder, how in fact does it lend itself so much? In today's day, we are very excited to start businesses. We are very proud of the things that we start and develop, and there are different ways that we contribute. But when you think of business, you just think of profit margins. You think of how you can impact. You think about different services and products that you can offer. So you think of what you're able to contribute and how you're able to make a profit. So you can take care of your staff, you can take care of your family, and really pretty much survive, right? But there's different components that really matter. There's different things that you bring to the table that, although you think that you can push to the side, every part of us does come to the surface, whether we want to acknowledge it, whether we want to give it credit or not. Every part of you is met when someone interacts with you. So why not be able to pour into yourself just like you would pour into your business, right? Give the best of you so that you can truly produce some of the greatest things. When you think of business, sometimes I know this journey for me, at least I can only share my personal journey, and maybe you could relate, but I remember there were so many things I was passionate about, so many projects that I wanted to take on, and so many things that I loved. But because I was so focused on business, right? The true traditional structure of business, there's an element that was missing for me that I didn't feel like I was connecting with. And those two things were separate from me. Like me being an individual and my business were two separate things in my eyes, the way that I operated. But truly, I couldn't really show up for business if I really didn't know how I can provide value. I didn't know how I can service people outside of the general service. But when you have a business, there's different elements of you that do need to show up. If you are service based, there's parts of you that you have to have compassion for people. You have to be excited for people. You have to emotionally understand where they are so you could see if your services are even a right fit for them. So there's a level of emotional recognition, emotional intelligence that you really want to develop because you'll see if you are the perfect fit. And if someone's just not ready for your products or services, no worries, no need to take it personal, no need to force somebody to purchase something and, have them have like buyer's remorse. You'll get to see that, no, your services are meant for a particular person in a particular stage or going through a particular phase in life, right? I know in our younger years, we were really into makeup. You love makeup, you love how you can create different looks. But as you get older, you really do start and fall in love with just who you are. So you go from loving makeup so much to then going into skincare. So it's not that you change, it's more that you evolve, kind of like different levels of like elevating yourself. And the same thing is with business. You can start understanding that there's a product or a service that you want to offer, but you need to grow. You need to grow that business. You need to grow the impact. You need to grow the mission. And the way to do it is to be able to understand who really needs your product and services. And the way to know that is to emotionally connect, see what they want. Do they need heartfelt services or do they need comedic relief? You know, um, would your product be better highlighted with sarcasm, or do you need profound, in-depth research like scientific facts? All those things are really important, but you wouldn't know those components unless you understood the emotion that is connected to the stage and the level where people are at that would highlight your products as beneficial for them at that stage. So being emotionally aware is really important because a lot of times being a business owner, sometimes you can get so fixated on the traditional structure of business that you could forget the components in which made you want to create this for other people to consume. So that's a really important element. And also too, leadership. When you start a business, you can't do it all on your own. For a short period of time, you can, but when your impact is so important, when your products are so great, when your services are so needed and valuable, you really can't do it alone. So you need a team. So when you have a team, you want to be able to lead them well. And in order to lead them well, you kind of need to know how to lead yourself, and you need to know in life when we go through stumbling blocks, when we go through growing pains, when we have moments of triumph and when we have moments of persevering and how to continue on that trajectory of growth and progress and elevate yourself without losing yourself, because a lot of times, more times than not in life, you are going to grow. You shouldn't be the same person that you were 3 months ago. Not saying it in the way that you as an individual need to constantly change who you are, what your beliefs are, what you stand for. That's not what I'm talking about. But I mean, you should constantly be discovering yourself, discovering the beautiful components of you, discovering all the different, ways that you show up for yourself and show up for others, and continuously evolving and seeing how you as an individual have so much significance, and what you do and what you do so well gives like so much intentional impact for those that really need it. So you want to do a great service for other people, right? You want to give your best, you want to show up the best, you want to give them the greatest components that you can share regarding, like your business, your products, your services. But you can't continuously to grow in that way if you don't continuously grow and pour into yourself. So I think it's so important, and that's something that's really not talked about a lot, because when you think of business, you think of how scary or overwhelming, or how nerve-wracking it could be growing and trying all these things. But from my experience, the moments that I felt like that were the moments where I completely removed the parts of me that needed to show up, because I thought business was one thing and me as an individual was something different. But once I realized that the components in my business, what was missing was the areas of where I needed to develop and where I needed to grow. And that's what made a difference in my business. And that's what made it run smoother. And that's what made it more enjoyable. And that's what made those resources more beautiful, more intentional, more impactful. It was when I first poured into myself so that I could better pour into, my products and services. And sometimes even doing that, I'd sit back, take some time away from some of the products I created, and then I would revisit them and I would see, run through it like I was a client, see if this was beneficial for me. Did it make sense for me? Was I able to extract some type of valuable components from it? And it was beautiful, because sometimes I'd walk away from things for a few months and then I'd come back and, be a client of myself and try my products. And I would still find that they were still very valuable. Even though you're growing and you're going through different stages, I was able to see that some of these things still held their value, even though I changed from different stages in life. So that was very beautiful to see. And I wouldn't have been able to create things with such significance if I didn't understand what I needed to build in me to be able to pour into it so that it could be as impactful as I really wanted it to be, and have the long-term effects that you need and that you really look for, as individuals, as we get older. We just want to be happy, and we want to do the things that we love. And it's so easy to look outside of ourselves for those things. And there are so many beautiful things out there. But in order to appreciate them to the magnitude and to the capacity that that in your heart you really want to experience them, first you have to be able to pour into yourself. First, you have to be able to develop yourself in those areas that, you know, need nourishing, need uh, developing. I mean, I don't know, personal development, that it's just, it says it all there, and it lends itself to so many areas in life. So in this new season 3 of Rescripted podcasts, that's really the direction that we're going to be going in. Is so many of us want to do personal development, but when we think of so many things that we need to invest in life, it's so much easier to say, let me put that on the back burner, right? You feel like, nah, it's okay. And you are almost like the last on your list um, when it comes to like investing. But weirdly enough, you're the first one that shows up when you show up. So you want to show up the right way. You want to show up healthy. You want to show up strong. You want to show up with the great significance that you know that you have inside. And in order to do that, we need to go through that journey of personal development. We need to be able to discover those different elements of ourselves, because a lot of times it's not so much of building yourself up. It's really about allowing the real you to come out. It's really about revealing you. And that in and of itself, it's such a beautiful journey. And as you're able to evolve, then so is your business able to evolve. And it becomes such a beautiful journey. And it really does become a partnership. You really become in partnership with your business because you end up loving it. And there's a part of you, there's a fabric of you that's woven into it. And that's the beautiful component that allows it to be something that's meaningful, because when you do have a business, it does require so much time, so much energy, so much investment, so much nurturing of it in it of itself as well. You need to pour so much attention into it. And the best way to do it is to not just build a business where, of course, you're able to provide for yourself and your family and your team, but you want to build it to where you're able to have it feed in so many different ways. You want it to be able to, of course, provide the core reason as to why you started this journey in this business anyway. But you also want other people to feel the soul of your business, and that's really how you're able to connect. And we can't do that if we don't really know truly where we're coming from and realize that we are a journey. Our life is a journey. We are ever evolving. And what we may hold strong significance to now may just be a great foundation to where we're going to go. And that's just beautiful. And that's how businesses are able to survive and thrive and keep going, because you never lose sight of that. You never lose sight of why you create the things you want to. For instance, in today's day, we're very health conscious, right? But some of the longest standing businesses are like Coca-Cola, right? It's been over 100 years. And why do you think that is? Well, we're so health conscious, and maybe that's not the healthiest choice, but it's still a prominent choice. It's still a prominent factor when you want a beverage and you wonder why. And, the primary emotion that's associated with a Coca-Cola beverage is joy, you know, um, hanging out, being in family, being in communion, having good times, doing exciting things. And that's the fabric of that product. So although we're very health conscious now, that's not their brand. It's never been really their brand. Their brand, well, they try to do Coke Zero, right? But truly the fabric of the experience that they want you to have with their product is joy. They want you to associate having a Coca-Cola with drinking it and having a good time. And that's beautiful, right? It's very simple, but it ties back to nostalgia, and it does all those beautiful things. So yes, I just wanted to highlight that in season 3, we are going on a new journey. So if you are somebody that has a business, and if you are somebody that is starting up a business and you feel like you have something great, but you do feel like there's components missing, I definitely want to be able to provide those different elements for you. I love structure. I love order. I love creating smooth processes and structures. But I never do it to a way where it's so um, stuffy. I want you to fall in love with the process of your business, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And if you have to do it, why not enjoy what you're doing? So we will start implementing some services, some different products, but we're just really excited because that is such a beautiful journey. I feel like it's such an authentic journey, because when you instantly start like personally developing, like let's say you don't have a business, but you do start investing in your personal development, you're going to see, again, because you are revealing yourself. You're not just building yourself, but you're revealing so much of you. And there is going to be something that you know that you have that it's of great significance inside of you. And you're going to want to share that with other people. Hence, you'll probably create, a product or a service, which then creates a business. And you want to be able to know that this is something beautiful. It's beautiful, and it becomes a fruit of the journey of your involvement. And we all want to learn, we all want to grow, we all want to be happy, we all want to be healthy, we all want to have great, significant relationships in our lives. And the best way to do that is to definitely start with you first. So I want to welcome you into season 3 with me. All these products will start trickling in little by little. But if that is something that you're interested in, please let me know. We're still going to have the components of like personal development courses and products, but we want to start really providing some of those like services, how to really create the structure for your business, how to really make it to where it's it's the beautiful journey that you intended it to be, and to not lose sight of that. So we'll touch base more on that stuff. But I just wanted to introduce this new season and the new direction. And if that's what you're interested, um, just stay tuned. We have more stuff coming up. And if you know anyone that is interested in that journey, or if you know anyone who is kind of struggling in that journey and you think that they will find content like this very valuable, I encourage you to share it, because then, you're kind of helping someone in what could be a challenging road. Sometimes business could be so frustrating. Sometimes it could be so challenging. And if you're able to just have a little bit of sound advice, just a little nugget of information that's going to take you from point A to point B, then that's great. And that means so much. And if you could be a part of helping alleviate a little bit of stress to someone, then that means you're a hero. So if you know anyone that really is looking for content like this, I do encourage you and ask you to share it, so that all together we can grow and have significance in our lives and in each other's lives. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm so excited for all the new things that are about to come, and I really look forward to it. So I'm really happy. I'm really excited, and I hope you join me on this new endeavor and these journeys, and I wish you a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll definitely see you next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed this episode and feel like it was insightful, then I ask you to please rate it, like it, and subscribe, and share it with someone you feel will enjoy it. I'll be back here next week, and we will continue to discuss matters regarding personal development. Take care, guys. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.